welcome to the show. I am your host, Tracy Timm, and you are watching the Nth Degree TV, the place to be to take your career from stuck to unstoppable. If you are finally ready to find work that you love, then you have come to the right place. This week on the blog, I shared a recent conversation in which I had a massive realization about myself and my business. As a career coach and the proud owner of a degree in behavioral psychology, I sometimes lose sight of the fact that I'm just like everybody else. And no, that doesn't mean that I think I'm above anyone. It means that I've had lessons about self-esteem and human behavior and peak performance drilled into my head so many times that I often forget that I am not immune myself. That's right, we're all susceptible to the same forces that tell us we're not good enough or drive us into the depths of negative self-talk, no matter how educated or above it all we might think we are. So, last week when I had this light bulb go off in my head, I just knew that I had to share it with you. So here's what happened. I was having a conversation with my personal success coach, whose name is Donnie. There are very few times in a week when I'm allowed to just sort of let it all hang out, so to speak. So I was really laying it out there for Donnie to analyze. I told him how much of a mess I was feeling, how lost I felt because I had just accomplished a major milestone in my business, and how I had no idea what I wanted to do next. And I told him that deep down, I didn't feel good enough and I was self-conscious about everything that I was doing. That's when he stopped me mid-sentence and said, I want you to do something for me right now. Now, I know Donnie well enough to know that he was about to ask me to do something that would make me wildly uncomfortable and at least mildly embarrassed. So while I winced, I said, yes. Then he said, look into the mirror and say, I'm beautiful. Actually, if you know Donnie as well as I do, you know that he said, say I'm effing beautiful, but I figured we didn't need to get that particular gem out loud. Now, I was aghast. I can't do that. That's all I was thinking. Oh, and I was doing that, that awkward laugh people do when they feel extremely uncomfortable. And believe it or not, I just couldn't do it. I seriously couldn't get those words to come out of my mouth. And it was the strangest feeling ever to be completely alone in my car, talking to a person I wholeheartedly trusted, and being entirely incapable of telling myself that I'm beautiful. So, of course, Donnie wanted to know what the heck was up with that. And honestly, it only took a couple of minutes to trace this inadequacy issue all the way back to its origin. I told Donnie that I knew exactly where my inability to own my awesome came from. And unfortunately, it came from where I went to college, Yale University. When I was 17 years old, I was getting recruited to play softball in college. I also happened to have pretty good grades, so there were a handful of private schools who expressed interest in recruiting me, including Stanford and Yale, which was awesome. And when it was all said and done, I chose to attend Yale and could not have been more excited. I mean, I grew up in Texas, was the child of two Midwestern parents who both had attended state schools in Illinois, and needless to say, the Ivy League was never on the radar for us. So for the entire first semester, I woke up every single morning with this exact same thought. Oh my God, I go here. Every day I was delighted and seriously celebrated this unbelievable reality. Every single day. But then I came home to Texas, and much to my surprise, the fact that I went to Yale, which honestly was still fantastical to me, was not greeted with the same type of enthusiasm. Instead of people being excited or asking what it was like, I was greeted with receptions like, wow, I guess I'm not smart enough to be talking to you, or yeah, must be nice to be loaded, or the very worst, oh, so you think you're better than me. And I was shocked. All it took was one data point, where I went to college, and these people thought they knew everything about me. I started adding caveats like, well, it's because I got recruited to play softball, or yeah, but I'm on financial aid, to make the blow of Yale less of a sting. But these negative responses became so predictable that slowly but surely, I just stopped telling people where I went to school. Now, once I had told this story to Donnie, I realized that this protective behavior had become a toxic habit in the rest of my life. Even if I was super excited about an accomplishment in my business or a new client that I landed, I hesitated to share it with people so that they wouldn't feel inadequate and I wouldn't have to deal with all their harmful assumptions. But all this was doing was hurting my own self-esteem and taking away the joy that I could have been feeling because of the accomplishments that I had worked so hard to achieve. It was in that moment when this massive light bulb went off that I decided, no more. No more. I'm not going to apologize for the accomplishments that matter to me. I'm not going to dull myself so that others don't get their feelings hurt. And I'm no longer going to hide the fact that I've done things that I'm proud of that other people wish they could do. Because here's the fact, they can do them. You can do them. It's just like Marianne Williamson says. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. And we ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, or fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You're a child of God, and your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We're all meant to shine, as children do, and we were born to make manifest the glory of God that's within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. So I want to challenge you this week to own your awesome. What achievements do you sometimes hide in order to save yourself from the judgment of other people? Or where in your life can you own your awesome and finally be proud of your accomplishments? I'd love to hear about the insights you've gained, so please leave a comment below this video with your thoughts. Also, you can get the discussion going on our sweet little space on the World Wide Web, tracytimm.com, so get over there and leave a comment now. While you're there, make sure that you hop on our email list where you can receive our free guide that's all about knowing when it's the right time to quit a job that you hate. There you'll find the 8 essential questions to ask yourself in order to find out if it's time to finally take that leap and start doing something that you really, really love. Did you like this video? I hope so, because eek, it was hard to do, but I loved it. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out some other videos that you might find helpful. And that's all we have for today. Remember, now is your time. With a little bit of work and a little bit of help, I promise that we can take your career from stuck to unstoppable. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next episode of the Nth Degree TV. Now, once I told this story to Donnie, I realized that this protected behavior had, I need to scroll back on. Sorry, Jagger, usually I don't swear in the outtakes. It's just like a little bit down, yeah, a little farther to the beginning of the paragraph, once I had told, yeah. That's perfect.